Yo, we have a real problem. We have a real problem that we need to discuss. I need to be able to vent. I need to be able to vent and to be able to talk to you guys about this. It's story time. It's story time. So let's talk about my frustrations. All right. The sun is killing. All right. My frustrations all start from me making this video. I got this scuff controller, and I'm not the best at making controllers, so I wasn't feeling insecure, but I was already feeling like, damn, this is something I've never done, so it's something different, right? So it kind of takes me out of my comfort zone because it's not what I wanted to do. So I'm like, okay, I bought this controller days ago with the intentions of me just enjoying this controller. All right, so I go to make the content, and it feels weird. It's like, it's one of these videos where I shot like 30 transitions, and I'm only using like 5 of them because it's like, it was just too much fluff time, right? And I specifically started the video. You'll see it probably in a day or two. And I said, look, I don't want this to be a lot of fluff, and end up fluffing a lot because I don't know enough about the damn product. This review space is weird because it's like, I want it to be real. You know what I'm saying? And what that means is that I have to like firsthand use stuff. So when I see something that's interesting me, I'm like, I can do a little bit of research on it, but I really want to be able to like enjoy it myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into it like, oh yeah, I read it could do this and it could do that, and you can activate the G forces, and I want to go into it and put the key in the ignition and dry that mug myself. Ranting, but so I go to making this video, and if you've seen the video prior to this, you know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm shooting this video, and this TV blacks out like multiple times. My Samsung S95C. The 95C is not the sole talking point to this video. It's not. It's the state of gaming with TVs right now. All right, so let me just give you a little bit of story time. 2022, my favorite TV. I think the best gaming TV, and for me, because this was the TV I used more than anything else, was the LG C2. I had the TV in 55-inch. Okay, the receipts are all on the channel. I actually bought 2 of those TVs in 55-inch, and so one I still have, right? Okay, that was the best gaming TV up until this year, realistically. Okay, now, if you follow my content, you know the TVs I got last year. I got C2, S95B, A90K, A95K. I own the Neo G8 monitor also. I think those were the 5 big panels that I got last year. The C2s was remarkable. Now, for me, LG had the best track record. They had C9, they had CX, they had C1, they had C2. In 2022, I didn't buy a larger TV because I had the C1 in 77-inch. So that was kind of the motivation behind it. I bought the C2 strictly as a gaming TV, okay? So it was just remarkable for me. Now, last year was the first year the QD-OLEDs came out. So as I said, last year I purchased both S95B and A95K. Those TVs for sure looked better, but the C2 was a better gaming TV. And I'm going to use this to kind of tie in what's going on right now. So what the C2 offered me was, as a PC gamer and as a console gamer, it offered the most versatile experience. Okay, shit worked, excuse my language, but stuff worked. G-Sync active, Windows validates it as a active G-Sync panel, and everything, like everything just works. Screen tearing, I didn't have to turn on V-Sync globally or at the software level on any games. I had no tearing. My shit just worked with that TV, man. It worked with the C1, it worked with the CX, it worked with the C9 once they got the firmware going for that stuff to work, okay? So C2 was just like the same stuff, but just repackaged. Now, I had a G2 in my presence, but I didn't own a G2 in 22, so that's why I never posted any content. But the G2 was obviously the better TV. And again, the QD-OLEDs looked better, but the C2 played better. So it was my favorite TV because I play more games, a little bit more than everything else, right? I digress. All right, so this is where I'm coming from. We get into 2023. All right, boom, we start the year off. I'm like the first person on YouTube with the S95C because I'm really stalking the TV. I go after it, get it in 77, get that bad boy. Now, if you follow the content, I swapped out my first S95C because I thought that the back was dented. They actually use like rubber mallets to enclose the back, and that's why it has like these inconsistent dents on it. Anyway, I got a new TV like a week and a half later. It was literally an exchange in my home, so I never went without the TV. I'm just like, man, this TV is just absolutely remarkable. It looks good. It was just everything that I liked. All right, the TV was so good, I said I'm gonna buy the S90C. Now, to give you some history, my old lady at the time is playing on the S95B. I bought that TV for her. She's playing on that TV. I said, I'm buying the S90C. Let me get you off the S95B. Let me get an S95B to my daughter. So my old lady got the S90C. I'm still using the C2 as my gaming TV. 95C is in my living room. C2, me and her at the time, we had the 4090 setups next to each other, right? I had the C2 on my side. She had the S90C. And I'm looking at the 90C and I'm like, damn, this smoking this C2. It's ridiculous, right? So that's kind of the story with that. All right, so we go on. I noticed immediately after getting the 90C that there are some dropout issues, 4K 144, because this is now an actual feature in the TV, 90C and 95C. This was not a legit feature in the 95B. You had to do some software shit on Windows End, overclock it, whatever, get that going. And I seen some things within the 95B with 4K 144 that I didn't like. I seen some screen tearing that just seemed to be unavoidable. And I was just like, you know, 4K 120 is where this TV is really supposed to be at because that's where it works at. So anyway, that was kind of that, right? All right, so what happens is I'm noticing these inconsistent blackout issues at 90C at 4K 144, but the TV looks so spicy. I'm like, dang, this mother looks. All right, I had to continue on this video, so you got two transitions. So I tell her, I said, look, I'm gonna take the S90C and I'm gonna get you on the G3. Now at this time, again, we both got 4090s. So I'm like, all right, even though the 4K 144 is not working on the 90C and the 95C, I'm gonna take the QD-OLED because at that point I'm just like, you know, this is what I'm seeing, and she's not really able to she can see the wow factor, but you know, we also like the way that the LG looks too. So get you the G3. I get the G3. All right, I get the G3 and I'm like, man, this shit ain't looking right. This is not looking like it's supposed to look. Now again, I'm my favorite TV for gaming, C2, C1, CX, C9, like LG's got it. They got it, right? So I've seen people say, oh, you know, he loves Samsung now, he loves Sony. No, LG had it, right? But I get the G3 and I'm just like, yo, this doesn't look like, it doesn't look next level. It doesn't look next level. The whites look fantastic, but it doesn't look next level. And then it doesn't help the fact that in real life, I have S90C and G3 next to each other, dog. Like 4090s on both, and they are next to each other in real life, not for review purposes. So I'm looking at this TV and I'm just like, nah, this ain't doing it. It's just not doing it, right? So, you know, I go through what I go through and I get rid of the G3 and I get the G2 because I'm like, man, you know, I had a good deal on it. I'm gonna get that 77 G2 and get rid of this 55 G3. And that's kind of where I was with things. You know what I'm saying? So now here we are with the Sony. The issue with the Sony that people talk about, the 4 HDMI ports, you only get 2 of them, right? But the TV is only 4K 120. I feel like all these TVs are 4K 120, but it's like, it appears to be no company has a perfect streak. LG has let me down. You know, the game mode on LG just doesn't look next level. Outside of the whites being really bright for MMLA, you know, it doesn't give me that same level of wow factor that I get from the QD-OLEDs. The Samsung is supposed to be such a high step up because 4K 144. Now, I've seen people say, with all due respect, there's no big deal, no big difference from 4K 144, use 4K 120. To me, that's almost as if you buy a C9. Let's think back in 2019, because I actually bought a C9 in 2019 when it first came out. Let's just say if you buy a TV that can do 4K 120 and it's not working, the shit's just not working. So somebody tells you, oh man, just use 4K 60. It's the same thing. It's just the same thing, or that's good enough. Like, I buy what I buy because I want the best. I want the bleeding edge. I want to be able to enjoy and buy into this exciting features that these people talk about when they're making these TVs. You know what I'm saying? If you come out with a feature and you tell me, hey, this feature is supposed to do X, Y, and Z, if I just look at like just some bullet points, enough to just give me a taste where I'm like, all right, I'm buying into that bet because I know I can do something with that, right? I want that next level. So it's almost like, Samsung, a part of why I've rated Samsung QD-OLEDs of 23 like the best gaming TVs is like the 4K 144 is at the top, bro. It's like the hollow point on a bullet. It's supposed to be able to do that. And what happens is my TVs just blank out. It's like I could just be doing nothing, letting the game sit, and it just freaking happens. It happens with the one that has a one connect box. It happens with the one that does not have the one connect box. So there's 95C and 90C. You tell me, like, what the hell is going on, man? What is going on? Samsung needs to do something to fix that. LG needs a QD OLED panel. They had everything working flawlessly for me. Everything, man. Everything. I bought into this company year after year after year. I bought into this company, man. You know what I'm saying? And when I looked at the G3 in game mode, I'm just like, it's not right. Something about the whole picture just didn't look right. No matter what I did, I just could not make it look the way I wanted it to look. And it's because my eyes had already been adjusted to this damn QD OLED technology. So I have the A95L and I'm absolutely loving this TV. I love the way this TV looks. I absolutely love the way it looks. True, it's not 4K 144. I was really hoping that it was. I was hoping that there was something within Samsung's panel that would have enabled Gen 2 QD OLED to be 4K 144. But no. And I'm not saying that every TV has to have that, but I'm saying that at this point, I feel as if I bought into a part of me buying into S95C because I said I wasn't even going to get an A95L. I will quote myself when I got the TV, I loved it so much. I said I wouldn't even get an A95L. But yeah, I have these issues off camera, behind the scenes. It's the same shit with S95B, man. I went through 3 effing panels with the S95B, and people question me like, man, oh, well, what's your issue with this? I'm like, dude, like, bro, you got the TV when it was AAA discount and this and this and that. I cashed out like when it first came out, bro. So I'm not the one to check. Don't pocket watch me or try to contest any of what I say my issues are with the TV, because I did what I could to not bash the S95B when it first came out. But these issues that I'm having with the 95C are just ridiculous. I just want to use it. I have made it my dedicated gaming TV now. I took the G2 out of the room because the G2 looks better in game mode to me than the G3 in some ways, but it still doesn't look like a QD OLED. So I've afforded myself to have the selection that I have, but it's like I'm not able to utilize. If I go down to 4K 120, then it's like, well, why would I get rid of the G2 then? That's how I feel. That's how I have an RTX 4090. That's how I feel. Like, I don't know, man. Am I tripping? I don't think I'm tripping, but I wanted to ventilate this with you guys. This is truly how I'm feeling right now, and I wanted to be able to share this with you guys. This is ridiculous. If you stuck around for the whole video, thank you. Catch you on the next one. Max love.